I wanted to ask you about the Handsome podcast,
Yeah.
which has just kind of taken off.
Yeah, it's been very like we all were just pretty blown away at the initial reception. We knew Tig approached us about doing a podcast, and we all three chatted about what it would be and what it would look like. And neither one of us knew. We knew May and not super well, but we really liked May, and we were like, let's just kind of try this. We're all from a different generation, and we know each other but not well, so it's kind of us getting to know each other and also looking at things from a different era and 30s, 40s, 50s, and what that looks like, answering questions. And yeah, we're a little over a year. We have 25 million downloads.
Man, oh man.
And every show I do, people show up in our shirts and they're yelling out our phrases. I mean, I haven't been a part of, I've done a lot of cool things, but I've never been a part of something with such a fandom. I don't know what the right word is, but like where they really care about this podcast.
For people who don't know, the Handsome podcast is Tig Notaro, and Canadian, by the way. Canadian.
That's right, from Toronto.
Does their Canadianness ever come out? Do they ever say things and you're like, oh yeah, we don't know what that is?
Yeah, because our producer's also Canadian, and they'll like talk about Canadian things, and we're like, what is that? And they're like, oh, you don't know what that is? And we're like, no. And definitely the accent comes out with the A, and the
yeah, there's a little bit of that.
Yeah. A little bit of the I'm trying to think what words. Pasta.
Pasta?
Yeah, we say pasta.
Ooh, excuse me.
Yeah, listen, Tom,
excuse
it's all
me,
right.
Madame Rockefeller.
Well, I filmed in Toronto for 2 summers this last doing food bar, and everybody says pasta up there, and it always makes me laugh.
I didn't know that. Hold on, March, you're Italian. Do you say? March is Italian. He's behind there. He says pasta.
He says a pasta.
But he's pasta. Yeah, he does.
With the hand like that.
Yeah. He was doing that actually, and he was holding onto a baguette, which is something I'm going to get an HR complaint about. Why do you think that podcast has taken off? Like, and maybe this is maybe someone who's not you is best to answer it, but like, why do you think there's this dedicated fandom? And
I'm not sure. I mean, we each came to the podcast with our own fan bases. So
yeah, but I know people who have discovered all three of you through that show, right?
Yeah. I don't know what it was. I think my friends, it's one of the few things that I have my friends listen to as well. I've been in a million TV shows. They've not seen one episode, but they will text me about the podcast. And I think we're very goofy and silly, and at any given time, 2 of us know something that one of us doesn't, and they can't fathom that one of the people or 2 of the people don't know us. Like bread and butter pickles. They were like, what is that? And everyone's like, you don't? Oh, like,
what are bread and butter pickles?
It's a sweet pickle. It's like it's just a pickle chips that are kind of sweet. And they didn't know what it was either, but I got like 400 messages from people saying I was screaming at the radio. I couldn't believe they didn't know it. So it's a very like bonkers, ridiculous podcast that people I think they just laugh a lot. That's the only thing I can guess.
I get that sometimes. We where I'm from in Newfoundland, we say like, colored pencils, like blue pencils. Yeah, we call them leads.
Oh, yeah, I've not heard that.
And I didn't know that we were the only people that called them leads.
Yeah, that's one I've never heard. But that's kind of the fun of the pod, is that it's kind of about nothing and it's about everything. Like, we talk because people are asking us a question every week. It opens the door to so many conversations that we would never like think of on our own. So I like that aspect of it. I never know what the question's gonna be, and so it forces me to go, well, what do I think about that thing, or what do I like? Because as a performer, as a comedian, you kind of like, I don't have any more stories to share. I feel like I've told everything. And that pod always brings out new stuff in us.